Welcome to this week's episode of the Lads Film Thing podcast, where four friends discuss a film and generally have a big old mess around. And be warned, there will be spoilers. So, you've got Lucy.
Hello.
Abby.
Hi there.
This is me, Dan. And we've got Sam.
Hey.
Disappointingly.
Yeah, sorry about that.
What?
Nothing.
And we've got Sam.
Hey.
This week's film was a joint choice where we reviewed the Archies, the 2023 Indian Hindi language teen musical film based on the old Archie comics, directed by Zoya Akhtar.
That was a tongue twister if ever
That was
I've heard it, and
perfect,
you
yeah.
rushed that.
Surprised you
That
did it in one
was
take.
There we go.
So it's now a good time to go through the just general plot, which
Yeah.
was
Which there isn't a lot of. To be fair.
No, there wasn't a lot of plot, even to the point where Wikipedia, our main source of plot,
Couldn't even be bothered.
couldn't. It was just like, nah, watch it.
Maybe
Don't
we
watch
should
it.
write the plot.
For Wikipedia.
Nobody wants that.
If you see a plot on Wikipedia and it looks half-assed, it's because we
Oh, it
busted
does.
it.
We did it, and we were wasted.
How would you describe the plot?
I would describe the plot. So I think there's two main things. There's the story of Archie being an absolute fuckboy and just like
Yeah.
doing whatever he wants.
Having his cake and eating it
Yeah.
more than once.
Yeah, I mean that makes it sound really interesting and explicit, but there was some
Yeah, there's no cake. It's like,
pecks on the cheek.
yeah,
There's not a lot of cake,
No,
if you know
it's-
what I mean.
barely the cherry on top.
Exactly. Oh. So yeah, there was that storyline, and then there was also the storyline of Hiram Lodge, who is always one of my favourite characters in Riverdale, and in that as well, he's just like a good baddie, but also loves his daughter. Like it's just a good little thing there. But so Veronica's dad, Hiram, he is looking to build a hotel and to like build up the area of
Yeah.
Riverdale generally. So he's looking to buy all the shops and take away the park basically to build a hotel on that land.
Yeah.
And the kids learn that this is going to happen and they're like working to stop that from happening.
It's quite a weak like plot, isn't it? Because obviously you just build it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't get planning permission for building it on a park.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
And that basically was like a 2-minute plot, wasn't it? Can you imagine like when we had to do the plot of RRR? Luce, just do a quick RRR plot now, please. You'd be like 20 minutes later.
Yeah.
It worked though. Like we knew what they were trying to achieve. Like,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for an easy film of just watching and enjoying,
Yeah.
kids are trying to save the park. Like we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they do, basically. They
They do.
do
Spoilers.
sort of petition and they get the signatures. There's not really a twist or, like you said, he's like a bad guy, but he's like just a businessman, and then they get the signatures and it's overruled.
It's weak plot with teen angst in the same time, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Those two stories like intertwine, don't they, to make it more interesting as you're watching it?
Yeah. And with some good songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, some really good songs.
Yeah, I like the songs. Yeah, that was good.
So that's that then. The end of the podcast. There it was.
There were a lot of good things I did like about this film, though. Actually, like, it first started and there's like it's not like an opening credits, but there's like a setting up and it's like a collage style and it's really
Oh, that
textured.
was really cool. Yeah.
The first like minute, I was like, wow, this is great. I feel like totally immersed in this new situation. Yeah, but that whole, and like stylistically, the film is amazing. Like they've put a lot of effort and detail into that. And
Yeah.
that first like few minutes of like being immersed in that, it was really great. I really loved that.
It was a nice looking film. Like, was
Yeah.
it 60s? It was based on.
Yeah.
But like the costumes, like I just want to live in Riverdale. Like it looked amazing.
Yeah.
Although the park, I want to see more of the parks. I feel like they use the same 4 shots of the park every
yeah,
time.
Yeah.
So even though it's this massive, amazing park, it's like maybe show us more than like a bit of a tree.
Mm.
Yeah, but even the trees look nice, didn't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
Not as old
Yeah.
as they should be.
What do you mean?
Like Archie's tree was 17 years old,
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
clearly like a 60-year-old tree.
Yeah, older than it should.
Yeah, I
yeah,
was
the
gonna say
opposite.
like
Yeah,
the tree was
150,
older.
yeah. It was, but well, I don't know how many trees should be there, and how old they should be. But
7
there was, well, maybe.
and 200.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see more than just considering the whole Archies. There were 7 of them. We could have seen at least
Yeah.
7
I just think that
labelled
there
trees.
must be more.
Yeah, so we know there were 9,000 adults in Riverdale
Mm.
because of the petition. There
Yeah,
were not
and
that many trees.
So did every single person have a tree?
It was like a rite of passage, like coming of age thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They said that at a certain age,
Oh.
every single person planted a tree in the park, so it was their
Mm.
park.
Yeah.
Which is a great idea.
Yeah, really nice
We
idea.
planted 2 in the school
Oh,
between
we
8 of
did.
us. It's pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How were they doing though?
I think they've taken them down.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Have they
I
actually?
walked past it yesterday and they're all gone.
Really?
I think
None
they
of them,
didn't take hold
Yeah,
very
I was
well.
going to say none of them were doing anything well. They kept looking. I was like,
Oh.
Yeah. There's 1 or 2 around that are kind of have worked, but I think they're all.
I think those were ours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 1 or 2 was our 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when you say it like that, oh, everyone got to plant a tree in Green Park, and it's the whole thing that the community did. What on earth was he thinking? He's just going to demolish the whole thing and
Yeah,
build a hotel on
exactly.
it for Christ's
Why were
sake?
more
Yeah.
people not immediately saying, I planted that tree 50 years ago?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, and my
Yeah.
grandmother did that, and
Exactly.
her.
and his own tree would be there. Is he just going to
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
kid and whatever?
Yeah, no, I agree that it's not believable. But they did like buy off the council for it and stuff, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
So-
true.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
It wasn't like they were just letting them do it.
It
They
was
weren't letting them
Oh,
do
of
it.
course.
But
There's a bit
then
of corruption involved.
There was
You're
corruption.
right.
Yeah.
You couldn't really pick a favourite bit of this movie though. It's pretty much
Of
like
this movie.
yeah.
Well, Dan has. He's added one of the songs to his playlist.
Oh,
Oh,
the
yeah,
songs, yeah. Well,
immediately.
yeah, if you could pick your favourite song, of course. But in terms
Yeah.
of like a movie event,
There's a lot of cool roller booting as well.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Don't get that as much these days.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm.
I had a bit of like, well, I didn't really like it being from the 60s.
Really?
You
I thought it was
didn't?
good for it.
No, because I feel like, I mean, if you grew up in the 60s, then you're now like 80 and you're not watching Riverdale. So who's it gonna appeal to, and who's gonna like feel that nostalgia? We want like a 90s version.
Hmm.
I don't think it's supposed to appeal to people who were that era. I think it's supposed to appeal to any age.
I know.
Everyone
but
was
then,
a teenager, like at an age, and all the teenage problems are supposed to be timeless, aren't they?
Yeah, but then all the songs and the dancing and all that was all 60s like swinging type thing. Well, unless I just got that wrong. But I was a bit like eye rolling at them, like sitting drinking milkshake with rollerblades on. Like,
That's kind of what I felt as well. I didn't think, oh, this isn't, they shouldn't have done that. They should have done something different. I just kind of felt, oh, this just isn't for me. Like there's like loads of those films like Grease and other things that I have seen, and I'm just like, it's just not for me. Like when Grease was made in like when was that made?
Mm.
Yeah, 80s
Yeah.
or something. That was still a throwback to the 60s.
Yeah,
And some people
exactly.
love it.
yeah.
But,
not
like,
now though.
Not well, some people like it now that did like it. Like my mum still
Yeah,
loves
exactly.
it. But no, not
Oldies.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I just look at it and think, oh, that's just not for me. And I kind of felt that with this. Like I don't love like those type of films, and specifically this one. Like it was good. I appreciated the story and I enjoyed it and stuff. But like those elements of like, milk floats and all of that
Yeah.
shit, I was just a bit like, I can take that or leave
Yeah.
it.
So, my first question then is, who's everybody's favourite character? Should I just quickly
Ooh.
run through
Oh,
some of the
okay.
main characters and then we can...
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
But yeah.
So, you're quickly introduced to most of these characters. You've got Veronica, Ronnie, Lodge,
Yeah.
who has just moved back from London.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Archie Andrews. You've got Betty Cooper, Reggie Mantle, Jughead, Dilly Doily,
It's a ridiculous name.
Ethel Muggs. Amazing, American
And Dilly Doily was the guy with the glasses.
Yes.
Yeah, the radio guy.
Yeah, because they swapped his names a lot of the time, didn't they? And I was like, I don't know what your name is. It was set in like a hill station town, and the general concept was that it's kind of an American Indian mix of town and people, and
There's definitely like
genres.
a colonial English feel to it as well, though, right?
The Anglo-Indian, wasn't it?
yeah,
I mean, the American is there because that's where the influence from the Archie comics has come from, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah. It's a bit of a mix of everything, really, in that respect.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, because like Pop's like ice cream parlor is definitely an American diner
Yeah.
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the town is called Riverdale, which obviously is what the more recent version of the Archies comic has been, that has also been on Netflix recently in the American sense of the word. 200 words there to explain what is really a very simple concept.
But no, it's quite good because it's kind of based around 7 characters, and it's called the Archies. And Archie he's a character in there, but he's not the main character.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The
I was
Archies is the name
thinking-
of the band.
Yeah, but I get that. But then also I was thinking, why is he called his band the Archies?
I think he's just like
Because he's
a
a
bit-
dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
self-indulged.
Egotistical.
But then we've also gone on to now call the show, comic, whatever, the Archies.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that just is a weird choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. He doesn't seem to be the main one.
He was for the first like half of the film, though, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I think in the comic and definitely in Riverdale, everything like centres around him. He's the one that kind of stays
Oh, the narrative follows him.
focus,
Okay.
and then there's other stories that are going on, but they're always like around him
Oh,
and
right,
what
I
he's
see.
doing.
I think he's just not the most likable for me. It's made me be like, oh, don't make it about you.
Yeah.
Make it about somebody else.
And in the American version, he was really likable.
Oh, really? I've not seen any of that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
I mean, it was for teenagers. It wasn't really for us.
Yeah. I don't know about my favourite character, though. I mean, Jughead is kind of all right. Don't know, what do you guys think?
Betty.
Oh, Betty.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
She was just nice the whole way. All she did was like try to be a nice person. Just, yeah.
There's that scene, isn't there, where Ronnie says that essentially. You're kind and you're nice and you're always friendly and
Yeah.
you're lovely.
And she bakes cakes, which is pretty good.
Oh, yeah, that's
You
true.
do like that in a person, yes.
Yeah.
I like Dilly Dally. Is that what we're calling him?
Mm.
Dilly Doily.
Dilly doily.
Yeah.
Dilly Dally Doily. He was great.
Yeah.
And he saves the day with this little radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. His little radio thing.
Yeah.
He put hours of work into that.
What about you, Ab? What was your favourite character?
I like Reggie.
Oh, yeah. Was he the one that was he was going to be a comedian or something? Was
Yeah, and
Oh,
he
yeah.
was the news person's son.
He? Yeah.
He just, I think you don't see him very much. And then when you do, he's just being generally good, isn't he?
Except when he is mean to Ronnie. Because they think that Ronnie told her dad.
Oh, yeah. But that's a weird thing, isn't it? Because, like, she stands up for him a lot, and he was always going to build a hotel in a park. Like, and she was benefiting from that. Like you say, I know she's just a kid, but if your dad was doing something that you really morally disagreed with, then surely to your friend you'd just be like, yeah, I hate this. And she wasn't. She was like, he's allowed to do what he wants.
Yeah, but I suppose that's part of it, isn't it? It's trying to, like, if you can make your friends see the other side, then you don't have to hate your dad in front of your friends.
True.
So
Yeah.
maybe she's just trying to find a middle ground.
I think she was like that for a bit, and then she could see what it was doing to her friends and the community in the park and the neighbourhood, and then she kind of came around to it, didn't she? What did everyone think of the like combination of American influence, Indian influence, colonial English influence, like the like mashup of the whole thing?
I have no thoughts.
Really?
When you say
Ever or what?
I liked it. I thought it was good to see. Like, I know it's still the 60s, so it's not modern, but after watching RRR, it's nice to see, like, a modern take on how that is now, how that looks today type thing, 40 years ago.
And again, to remind you, like, how recent, you know how I like to bring it down a notch.
You know,
You're
yeah.
all having too much fun. Let's now talk about how terrible things were. But to think how modern that time was, because they said, didn't they, that they went to Green Park, and did they say the kids played or something happened? They went to Green Park on the Day of Independence.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Oh,
is like
yes,
in the
yeah.
40s. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it just makes you think, like, if kids of that era were going there then,
Yeah.
like, it's just, I don't know, it's really recent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked it. I thought, because there was a bit of me, I was like halfway through the film, and we'd watched like a bit of Riverdale, and I was watching this, and I was kind of like, well, why are they remaking that? Like, what is this adding to it? Like, it's essentially a very similar story. You know, it's the same setting, and the characters are mostly the same. But then actually what I thought was really good about it was adding that Indian heritage, and there was a lot of nods and references to history. And there's a bit where Reggie's talking to his dad, and he says he wants to go into comedy or something, I think. And he's saying, no, you should take over the newspaper, like, it's been family. And then he says something like, oh, back in colonial times, like, Indian people weren't allowed to have a voice, and this was the first newspaper that was brought around. You should follow in
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, actually, that is what this remake is bringing to that. It's kind of putting this story in a different setting, and kind of mashing those cultures together. And actually, it's not shying away from that Indian influence
Yeah,
in
but
history.
I felt like it was a bit, not shying away from it, but I thought it was missing that.
Yeah, I did think it could do with more.
It could do with more.
Yeah.
Strange they were set in the Anglo-Indian like town rather than just an Indian town.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's trying to make it like wider coverage for Netflix and stuff, just to kind of tick more boxes, but
Yeah, maybe.
it just
Yeah.
seemed an odd choice to be so different, but yet safe as well. Was a bit strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are right. They could have put more of that in there. There was some points when I was questioning my mind why they were doing this, and then something just really stuck out at me, and I thought, oh, actually, that is what is good about this. But you are right, it could have been more. They could have dialed that up a lot more.
I do want to know, like, when they pitched it, what they were like you say, aiming for, because
Yeah,
it's so similar to something that's just finished.
yeah,
Mm.
Weird.
Yeah.
They could just made another film about another set of people.
yeah, yeah.
But I wonder if part of the reason why is because for us, like, obviously part of film is escapism, isn't it? And so for us that is escapism, but are we just, again, putting our, like, anglicised views onto that we would like it to be more Indian, please, whereas, like, an Indian director made it with Indian actors and made their decision about how to do it on their own, and then we're just like, nope, not Indian enough.
Yeah, true. That's a very good point, and that actually absolutely is a valid point. Like, they made their choices, and like, it's good because of that. Like, I think it's
Yeah.
good, and maybe that's just like I liked those bits, and I would like to see more of them. But like, they obviously made decisions to not put more of that in there.
Yeah, it was really enjoyable what it was. So yeah.
I like to see the goats.
Yeah, well, they were only in there like 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah, it was nice though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Like
good.
a good goat.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, except for the eyes. We haven't discussed the amazing scene where the last signature slips go into the council office.
So logistically, what happens is there's like a montage where they're counting the votes, isn't there? And you see the clock ticking around. It's like 5 to 5, which is the deadline. Yeah. 5 o'clock is the deadline. And they're like, no, we've not got enough votes. So they are they're under the 4,000 mark. And a stack has been hidden by one of those corrupt councillors. And then a guy goes, the police chief goes in the room, turns
Yeah.
on the thing. They all scatter around everywhere. And then he finds them, they count them up, and they're like, "You won by 1,600 votes!" But it's literally a stack, like an inch high.
tiny stack.
There's never 1,000 signatures.
Right.
on-
And that just didn't need to be the case. They could have won by 10 votes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Fine,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, but then they couldn't have said that thing. The town spoke.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
They say they make a big deal. Don't
Yeah.
Or just make him hide a massive pile.
They? Yeah.
yeah.
There's ways to have matched it.
Yeah.
That scene was weird with like the envelopes, the letters falling, like
Yeah.
the Harry Potter scene, because that's just a man. It's like, which is not old or anything, but it's weird to see that scene where he's looking up at the sky.
Yeah.
And this camera's like coming down towards him, being like, that's,
Yeah, but it's funny
it's not a
because
10-year-old boy anymore. It's just a grown
Yeah.
man.
yeah, grown man, because you expect it looks like he's about to like jump up or like
Yeah, start
jump
grabbing
for
him.
joy, and there'd be a
Crystal May style
80s
it and grab
screen
as many
print.
as he can.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's funny because he's the police chief, and there's a bit where it's the end of the count, and they haven't got the signatures, and he looks like disappointed, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So then in that scene, it looks like he is literally about to be like, oh, signatures! Oh my god! And like jump up and start stuffing him, like you said, Crystal May style.
No silvers, come on.
It's so weird.
And the fact that that powerful a fan is in somebody's office. Like,
Yeah,
that would never be switched on.
Yeah,
Such a
Yeah.
bad design flaw.
Yeah.
yeah. But no, that's actually brings up a good point, because there is that bit where they have that festival in the park, and they've all baked stuff, and it's free to go
Yeah.
to.
Oh, yeah.
But if you want to buy a cake, you have to do it through like signatures.
Oh,
so you
yeah,
have
yeah.
to collect signatures in order to buy a slice of cake or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, where are they going to collect those signatures?
That-
And those are people who don't give a shit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not people who are interested in the park. They're
Yeah,
just
they
like,
just want a free piece of cake.
yeah.
Reminds me of like, you know, when you go to Butlins when you're a kid and then you go to one of those crappy cabarets and it goes, right, everyone's got to go, right, go back to your parents, everyone's got to go and get like a left shoe.
Oh,
go,
yeah.
and
Oh,
the kids
yeah.
run off.
There's a name for those games, isn't there?
Oh, they're the worst.
Yeah.
But it was like, right, if you want this bit of cake, I mean, we've got your mum and dad already.
Yeah.
Go and get some signatures.
It's
Go,
gonna
go,
have
go.
to be someone
It's
Right,
else.
not a good day
sorry.
for stranger danger, is it?
Yeah, no, just go and ask
Exactly.
any vagrant that you find. Give him anything he requires.
Oh,
In...
God.
Go
To
and get
swap.
someone's prosthetic arm. Oh, I'll get that
I'll
arm.
get that arm.
My favourite Guardians of the Galaxy bit of all time, that bit. I love that bit.
Agreed.
Well, there, have you seen the Christmas special?
Yes?
You know what Rocket gets for Christmas?
I can't remember.
It's
It's
an
the
arm.
arm.
Oh, is it an arm? Yeah.
It's the arm.
I saw
Yeah.
it last year. I've completely forgotten it, obviously.
Yeah,
I
you
have
should
watched
watch
it,
it
but
again.
yeah. Oh, he gets that arm.
I was just going to say that Riverdale, I felt, was much darker than this. Like, this was quite a light
Yeah.
story. And it was just about a hotel on a park. And that was it. There's, like, murders.
Oh, really?
There's... can't remember whose parents it is. I think it's Betty's mum is in, like, a bicycle gang.
Oh.
Not bicycle, like...
Motorbike.
Motorbike.
That's not dark. A bicycle gang is not dark.
She's in a motorbike gang.
Oh.
Jughead's dad is also in that gang.
Oh.
Some teen pregnancy stuff. It's just like a bunch of stuff that is going alongside all of this.
Oh.
Didn't really touch on like anything that could be dangerous at all, I felt, did it?
No, but like one of the things that attracted me to the movie to begin with was just like the upbeatness of it.
Yeah.
Just like the
good
fun.
point.
It just looked really fun. And I was like, oh, I want to watch that. It looks really fun. So those
Yeah.
like dark shows, they come up and I'm like, oh, it's another show like that.
True.
I wouldn't give it a second
Yeah.
thought. Really.
And I
Yeah.
suppose the comics were probably quite upbeat. And
Yeah,
like,
true.
Yeah.
nice.
I still wouldn't have said it's dark. Like, it's definitely... That was a fairly good rendition, isn't it? It's not like it's... I don't know.
But then I guess that
It
probably
wasn't-
strayed away from the source material, whereas this film's probably a lot more like
Yeah.
in line with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I think so.
You're right.
So let's get some scores to this film. We are going to do 3 categories: enjoyability, shareability, and masterpieceability. Each lab will give a score out of 5, so a total out of 60. Let's start with enjoyability. Dan.
I went with 3.
Luce.
3.5.
Ab.
I'd go 3.
And I went 3.5.
Oh.
So quite a tight little group of lads there.
Yeah.
As always. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree. I really liked it. There was some of the writing. I don't, because we watched it dubbed rather than subbed. But so some of the lines for me were a little bit cheesy, but I don't know if that's how they were translated rather than
Yeah,
how
I
they were
think
written. So some of the stuff you're like, really? Is that what? But then there was one line which I really liked, which was the grass isn't always green on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it.
Yeah.
That's
That's quite cool. I never
that's
heard
great.
the second part of like
Oh,
that.
really?
That's a
Really?
really inspirational
Yeah,
line.
but I really liked that bit.
But I also think that, again, the cartoon and Riverdale, both super cheesy.
Oh, really?
Really?
Like, I think it probably is in
Oh, is
keeping
it?
with the
Oh,
real,
okay.
like, 60s
Well, yeah.
comic
Okay.
book,
It probably is lifted straight from the
yeah,
comic page, isn't it?
milkshake vibes.
Yeah.
I think for me it was much longer than I needed it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like over 2 hours, was it? I think 2
When
hours
we
20.
can summarise the plot in 2 minutes, it doesn't need to be more than an
Yeah.
hour and a
Yeah.
half.
And it wasn't just because there was like a few songs in there either. Like there was just a lot of extra like weighty,
Yeah.
flabby bits that could be cut out.
Weighty, flabby bits.
God.
Cool. So shareability. Av.
1.
Loose.
1.
I also went for 1. Dan.
I went for a 2.
Oh, Dan, why'd you have a
Who
number
are you
2?
sharing it with?
No, I think I did enjoy it, and there was, like I said, the start, like you really it just immerses you into this whole situation, and like the spirit of that I really did enjoy. Yeah, I think it was obviously a bit long, but I would tell people about this film.
What sort of people?
Oh, I don't know.
Because that's my one is because, except for you guys, I don't know anyone maybe one person in my work who I say to watch it, but otherwise I don't know anyone.
Yeah, couple of people. Steve from
Oh,
work.
yeah?
Yeah.
How is Steve?
Mary.
I don't know if yeah.
I
He's only got one leg now, but apart from that, he's all right.
Yeah, maybe like the guy that comes to do the flooring. I might tell him about it.
Are you having more flooring done?
Yes.
As long as there's no follow-up questions or an expectation of any change.
And I suppose we'll share it on our socials and stuff, so all of them are going to have at least a 1.
Well, yeah, good point.
My thing, I just want to say sorry. I probably wouldn't watch this again.
Yeah,
Was my thing.
agreed.
Like I did really enjoy it that time, but when I realised that, then I thought, well, I probably wouldn't recommend anyone.
Yeah,
else
if you
to
want
watch
an
it again.
upbeat musical,
Yeah.
Great Showman, that's going on.
Yeah, and also like we love Indian movies and other foreign movies, but not everyone's open to it, are they? Like when I've suggested to other people to watch some stuff, they've just been like, if it's not English, they're not up for it. Just because of the ball ache of trying to like read the subs, or like the dubs aren't great.
Yeah, it's more
sometimes.
mentally like
Yeah.
stimulating, isn't it?
So for those reasons, I'm a 1.
So the last category is masterpiece ability. Loose.
3.
Ab.
2.
Dan.
3.
I went for 3 as well.
Oh.
Not as much of a masterpiece for you, Ab.
I'm going to preempt what you're all going to say and say, like, it was quite beautifully shot. Like, it was a nice looking film that I enjoyed watching. But I don't see that I can call anything any more of a masterpiece than a 2. When, again, it takes us 2 minutes to describe the plot.
Yeah.
That, for me, was my, like, sticking point. It was okay acted. Again, like, it was comic book acted, which is fine, but that, for me, is never going to get a higher score than a 2.
I would give it additional points for the music.
Oh, yeah, good
It's
point.
pretty good. And like the smaller details, like the stuff about planting a tree like everyone plants a tree, like those little like cute bits.
Yeah, it was a sweet film.
You like them.
Yeah, I think that's why I would probably give it an extra point. Is I think that attention to detail, like I did appreciate like the costumes and the sets and everything. Like there was
True.
a lot of work that clearly went into this film, and
Yeah,
that did
the
add to the
cars, all that
enjoyment.
stuff, they all
Yeah.
everything's
Yeah.
really well done.
There you go.
So that gives the Archies a total score of 29 out of 60, which makes it our 3rd lowest scoring film today.
That's correct.
Is that ahead of The Killer?
Oh,
It
I
is
hope so,
definitely
by a long
ahead of The
shot.
Killer. It's ahead of The Killer, which is our lowest, and it's ahead of Dirty Dancing,
Oh, is it? Okay.
which I think is undeservedly low.
Well,
I would rather we rewatch this than Dirty Dancing.
Oh, really? No, I'd
Really?
rather. Well, I don't know.
No.
Yeah, maybe I would. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
We're definitely going to watch Dirty Dancing again. Aren't
Are
we?
we?
Like, we're not going to go through our entire lives without watching Dirty Dancing
Yeah, I
again.
suppose you're
I
right.
might.
Yeah.
But we
Hey,
could
I'll
go
do
through
my
our
best.
lives without watching that again.
Yeah, this one has the potential to disappear off the radar.
But I
Yeah,
will
for
have
sure.
like one of the songs on a playlist for like a good couple
Oh,
of weeks.
good point.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's saying Time of Your Life is not on a playlist of yours somewhere. Come on, Sam. Come on, Sam.
I've got a recommendation for next week's film, actually.
Oh, okay.
It is Dirty Dancing Havana Nights.
Oh.
Did you know about this film?
No, I did not.
No.
So it is made in 2004. It is a prequel to Dirty Dancing.
Okay.
Can you say the word prequel again, please?
Prequel. It has a different like cast and stuff, apart from Patrick Swayze, who does appear in the film as a dance instructor.
What?
Really?
Yeah. I only found out about it the other night because it actually popped up in an episode of Bob's Burgers.
Hey.
They were going to watch a screening of Dirty Dancing Havana Nights on the back of the seat screen in someone's minivan.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Weird, right?
Very
Never even
weird.
heard of this film until then. Did
No.
you? And you loved Dirty Dancing.
I don't really, but
And you love Patrick Swayze.
Prequel. Hang on. It's a prequel.
That's what.
I think he doesn't play
Wikipedia.
himself.
He doesn't play himself.
No, I think
okay.
he's cameoing as a. By the
Okay.
sound of it, yeah.
All right. Yeah, that needed to
Yeah?
be clarified.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So
Oh.
that's next week's film.
Can
Wait.
I veto that though, please?
Oh,
watch
I'm not
that.
watching that. I'll YouTube the cameo and that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
when you say he's not playing himself,
I know nothing more than this intro sentence of Wikipedia.
okay. Well, no, I just it. When
Good
you
input. To you
When
too.
you say he's not playing himself, do you mean he's not playing Patrick Swayze, or is he not playing whatever that fellow was called? Tony
Johnny?
Castle.
Johnny Castle.
Johnny Castle. That's
He
what I
can't be
said.
playing Johnny Castle because it was filmed in 2004 and it's a prequel.
Yeah. He's literally listed here
Right,
as
good point.
dance class instructor. So
So you mean because he's now 100 years old?
He was 100 years old in 2004.
no, but the
Yeah.
thing is, if he's in the back of the scene and it's just a bit blurry, he could be Johnny Castle before he becomes the lead dance instructor at the summer
Yeah,
camp.
yeah,
be.
exactly, yeah. But how? Oh, I suppose they could do a lot. They couldn't do that much in 2004, though. They couldn't like make him younger than he is in 1980, whatever that came out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Surely.
Well, we'll find out next week, won't we, everyone?
We would really like some recommendations of stuff.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Like we have had a couple of bits recommended, and they all look really good.
And they are in the pipeline.
They're in the pipeline. Sadar Udam
Mm-hmm.
is one that we would really like to see.
Yeah, Magnolia.
Somebody suggested Pure Luck, which I think we should probably give a watch to.
I think that was you.
I don't know.
I do want to watch that film, though.
That's great.
We do.
You will love it.
Look, that will be our 100th episode, okay?
Yeah, it's got to be the 100.
Yeah, well, I'm going to watch it tomorrow. But
Like I do every day.
Thank you for coming along to this week's Lads Film Club and joining us while we discussed the Archies.
We'd love to know what you thought about it too. Did you enjoy it as much as we did? Let us know on our social media. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Find the details in our description.
So if you enjoyed listening to our podcast, please leave us a rating and review.
and don't forget, share with your own lads.
And share it with anyone, really. We're not picky.
Maybe not Hiram Lodge. Not for this one.
So grab your popcorn.
Round up your lads.
Get watching.
And join us next week.
Bye.
I took a photograph of you guys for you guys the other day.
Whoa.
You were asleep. I was there. Don't worry.